Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a video, as you can tell. Thought I'd just show you what I'm doing on the wiring. It's coming out pretty good. Still got a long ways to go, but I've got the majority of it done. So basically, it looks, like a bundle of wires right now, and really complicated, but it's not. Let me grab my cover here. So basically, here's your fuse box. The cover goes on like this, so you can see where it would sit. I just got it kind of resting there right now, but pops on right there. Has little labels. So you have the feeder line that I showed you before from the battery comes up and goes to this relay. That relay is grounded, and it also has another connection which I debated between going between the the headlight relay, headlight wire, which is a gray-red wire right around here, tap it into that, or you can also, if you want to make it a little easier, you can use the Cyclops light, the center light. Both of those have a little bit of a different approach, because when you turn your key to the on position, the Cyclops light comes on, but obviously your headlights don't. So that's the only difference. Is I decided to go with this because it's got an underground lighting kit, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to crank up your scooter every time you want to just turn the lights on and show people or whatever. This way Rob will be able to turn on the ignition but not start the bike, show off the lights. They'll still work if he's riding. And so if he ever wants to change it around, I've left him this connection, so if he wants to change it to full start to work, or if he wants to add something like that, he can just swap those wires. Then your positive comes down to the positive on your fuse box. That gives you juice to your fuse box, which is also grounded. It has a negative bus terminal. The beauty of that is, for every peripheral I want to run, every accessory, I don't have to re-ground it to the metal or find somewhere to bolt it down. I could just run a wire to one of these corresponding screws. And they don't have to match up. I just like to do that so that when I go back, or if Rob goes back, he'll know this is the positive for his 12-volt outlet. Therefore, this is his negative. They're like in reverse order, so closest to closest, furthest to furthest. Now, here's the cool part. Besides that, and I have a 12-volt run already, and you might immediately see these cool little things. These are actually Cherry rocker switches, which I told Rob about, and I told him I've been looking at for a long time. One off so I can try to give you better lighting here. So basically, you can see it's pretty cool. It looks like a push button. That's what I like. Is it almost looks like something, like a throttle ignition or rocket switch or something. But it does tilt back and forth. You can see it's hard to do with one hand here holding the bottom, but it tilts back. Coolest part about Cherry switches, they're about $4 or $5 each, and they're completely waterproof. Obviously your contacts aren't, so you want to seal those up. But the switch itself has a little rubber guard, just like a gear shift, and don't confuse weatherproof with waterproof. Basically, I could take these and dip them in the sink, wash them around, they'd be fine. These also light up, which is cool. So when he hits them, they'll have a little red button, and I think they go really well with the Speedo. You can see the red and black. They pretty much match up. They're tiny and conspicuous, so you end up with like a whole little quickly adjustable switch there. There's plenty of room to add a second row, which Rob might want to later. But right now, the 3 of these are being used. He'll have an extra one to put wherever he wants, and so that's a cool little addition. And like I said, they're just Cherry rocker switches. If you want the product number, just shoot me or just put it on the topic, and I'll list it if anybody's interested. But you can see, like, I've got a little just a little tester that came with this Marine 12-volt, which is installed now. So I've got to add one more thing on the dash. I'm going to put a little tiny LED right here, which is his battery volt meter. So it's a real basic one, but the nice thing is it's going to be hooked to one of these switches. It's also right by its temperature, so if he looks and sees it's not lit up, it'll remind him, oh yeah, temperature plus what's the battery. He can just hit this with a glove on or whatever and turn it on, leave it on, or turn it off. He can basically allow him to check the battery whenever he wants, because that little light could get annoying. So that's pretty much it for now. Got the mechanicals done. I've installed a J Costa with a thinner fuzzy washer, and of course the normal washer, so he's got 3 millimeters there. I've installed the rear hugger. I put the brackets and everything on both sides. So he's got the rear hugger, the Leo vents, and so that's it for now. Only things left to do now. Oh, almost forgot. We want to see how I did the stable. So I forgot to point this out too. On the fuse box, I bought 2 L brackets. They're pretty cool. They're just regular cheap little $2 or $3 pack. Came with 2. They fit perfect, and I was able to adjust them in so that it left the 2 holes. I was able to line those up with both of these bolt holes, and you can see the fuse box is pretty sturdy. I mean, it's like, unless you just like punched it, it's not going anywhere. And considering it's lined behind the piece of Tupperware, and it'll be fine there with that metal. The stable, let's see if I can get some good lighting on it. Probably not. Let's see. Do a flashlight here. So basically, here's the stable. Now what I did with it is I bought this little metal corner bracket, and then I tie strapped it, as you can see, to the pipe. Then it fits snug into the horn, which is then tie strapped to like all the surrounding frame. And you might say tie strapped and just the metal, but I'm telling you, like, it would take like the small force of a Mack truck to pull that horn off. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to figure out a way to show you, but basically, if I take my hand here and really yank on it, you can see it's not going anywhere. So, and the nice thing about that spot is it still leaves you plenty of clearance. It's nowhere near your suspension. It's tucked up under there. It's got plenty of room for your headlight. So if you ever do a stable, I personally think it's a good spot. You really have to kind of shove it up into the wires, and I'm not just talking about my wires, but the hoses and everything. You can't really hurt anything. They're all insulated and loose. They're not really like wires that move, so should be good there. Alright, I'll give you guys another update here in another day or so.